So update number 2. I have 2 thoughts this week. First, I told my family what I'm doing. I had already told my brother. He is an athletic trainer with the University of Louisville track and field program. So he's like fit professionally, really fit professionally, and is super cool about questions and asking for advice, and he'll even like adjust me sometimes. That's fun and free. So free. But I hadn't told my mom and dad. My dad does have Facebook, but he checks it like once a week maybe and doesn't necessarily see things that he's not tagged in or that somebody connected to him isn't tagged in. So I didn't think that he had seen it. And I hadn't told them because I didn't want to talk about it with them. I love my parents. Like, wow, do I love my parents. And they're actually some of my favorite people just to be with. Like, I like them too. But my body has always been a really, really hairpin trigger issue between me and them. And like sometimes I feel like I got more praise than any other time in life when I was doing something to try and better my body. And I know that that's not true. That's me. That's how I feel about it. That's my own body bias and my issues with myself forever that made me feel that way, because that's not true. My parents have praised me for everything since I took my first step. Now they hold me to stuff too. They tell me to get it together when I'm out of line, but they've always praised me. They have. They're amazing parents. But I feel this tension with that fitness topic. So I haven't told them yet. And then my dad brought it up last night at dinner, or 2 nights ago at dinner. They came over just to hang out, and we made dinner together, and that's the kind of family we are. We like to spend time together that way. And Dad said, "Well, I saw that you're doing something to get ready to skydive," and I was like, "Crap, now I have to talk about it." So we talked about it super briefly, and when I say super briefly, I mean because I got weird and shut it down. He said, I thought maybe you didn't want to go and you were like chickening out, and that's why we hadn't scheduled a time to do it yet." And I said, "No, I've always wanted to. That was never a thing, me not wanting to go. And I just hadn't told you about this because I didn't want to hear about it. And that was wrong, and I was rude, and I should apologize for that." But, so that's one thing. I realized that I've got some stuff about this that I didn't even know I had. I mean, I told you last week that I've always had issues with my body, but I thought that they were just like me. They were mine by myself, like inside, but it turns out that's impacted my relationships too. Okay, enough of that. That was too serious. Okay. Now, the other thing that I want to tell you about this week is I had like a big slice of humble pie served to me yesterday at a group class. Not in like a mean way or anything like that. Everybody was awesome, but I walked into this stretch and abs class, which is supposed to be my warm-up before I did my trainer routine by myself with the weights. And I was like the youngest person by probably 30 years at least. And I was the person that needed to do the most to be in a healthy space, healthier space. Everybody was kind and welcoming and helpful, and it was a hard class that I thought was going to be breezy when I walked in and everybody was senior citizens. So that was an unfair assumption on my part, and I paid for that assumption with the pain in my stomach today. Thank you, Sue. It was a good class. But that was humbling to realize that there were people many decades older than me that were probably feeling better in their bodies than I was, at that moment because they're doing that every day. They're being active every day. So I hope that I get to feeling better about just like how I feel, like not even like pounds or inches or sizes, but just like inside how I feel, so that I can like keep up with them better next time and be them someday. Like I've said before, and I will say probably every time, I don't want to be. I'm not aiming to be a skinny person. That's just not how I'm built. It's never going to be how I'm built. And I'm glad for that. I've embraced that, and I love my curves now for the first time ever. But I'm realizing more and more that there is a better space for me to get into, that I can still be a curvy woman and love it, and like really care about my body also, and be better for me and my future and whoever is in that future also. So if that makes sense. And thanks for letting me vent. And if you have any feedback or thoughts, shoot it to me, Lori@YesLouisville.com, or hit us up on the socials at Yes Louisville, and follow this every week.